Before extinction came silence, and a world already beginning to tremble. Somewhere nearby, the dominant predator of this ecosystem is already moving. The herd senses danger long before it can be seen. Tyrannosaurus rex conserves energy carefully because survival punishes waste. Every movement across this valley carries risk and opportunity. The strongest herds survive by remaining together. Even apex predators rely on death already written into the landscape. Something else is watching from deeper inside the wild forest. Storms reshape this ecosystem almost daily.
Migration is not escape, it is endurance.
Patience allows giant predators to survive where speed cannot. Sometimes fear spreads faster than sound. Even the king of predators remains vulnerable while distracted. Death feeds entire worlds long after the hunt ends. The ground itself has begun to change. For millions of years, life adapted to instability. Not every encounter ends in violence. In this world, survival often depends on what remains hidden. The weak slow the herd, but abandoning them carries its own danger. At the top of the food chain stands an animal built for collapse. Movement across the forest now follows a growing urgency. The predator waits for weakness, not opportunity alone. Even scavengers understand when the earth begins to warn them. The sky itself is becoming unfamiliar. A failed attack could waste energy needed for survival.
The balance of this world weakens long before extinction arrives.
Some losses leave no visible predator behind. Fear spreads faster than understanding. Something larger than hunger now dominates the landscape. The world is beginning to bury itself alive. The drought now reaches deeper than hunger alone. Large predators survive by avoiding unnecessary failure. As resources disappear, cooperation disappears with them. Instinct alone can no longer guide migration. The horizon no longer sleeps at night. Even desperation cannot erase caution from survival. The ecosystem begins to lose its shape beneath the storm. Future generations vanish quietly, long before the world notices.
Apex predators cannot afford many mistakes in a dying world.
Survival sometimes means escaping, not winning, not winning. The sun itself begins to disappear from this world. Death spreads faster than hunters can follow. Instinct warns them before evidence appears. Even the strongest animals now feed with fear. The ecosystem feels extinction approaching before it understands why. Failure now carries consequences that cannot easily be recovered from. The landscape no longer provides enough for everything still alive. In collapsing ecosystems, territory becomes survival itself. Most confrontations end before injury decides them. The air itself has become hostile to survival. Parental instinct persists even when the world begins to fail. The ecosystem can no longer predict itself. For the first time, even apex predators appear small beneath the sky. Death now spreads faster than ecosystems can absorb it. The planet itself has begun to fracture beneath them. Not every separation ends with reunion. The world is disappearing behind its own collapse. Hunger forces adaptation faster than evolution ever could. Entire habitats are vanishing one season at a time. Now the catastrophe can no longer remain distant. Fire now moves faster than instinct can respond. Predators survive by adapting to landscapes already dying around them. Protection cannot always overcome collapse. Daylight itself begins to fail across the continent. The Earth is already beginning to erase what lived here. In unstable worlds, every step becomes dangerous. Survival depends as much on endurance as power. The survivors continue moving without knowing where safety remains. The land itself can no longer support the life above it. Dominance means nothing against planetary collapse. Hunger is changing the instincts of the next generation. The world is becoming impossible to navigate. Nature mourns briefly, then keeps moving.
Even feeding has become dangerous in this collapsing ecosystem.
Now the extinction event reaches every living thing at once. Without sunlight, entire ecosystems begin to lose direction. Even apex predators carry limits written into biology. The survivors now feed on what once would have been ignored. Entire habitats vanish within a single night. Death now arrives faster than predators can create it. Ancient migration memory can no longer guide survival. The climate itself has turned unpredictable and hostile. Some instincts continue, even after the future disappears. Collapse forces behavior once considered too risky. The world is slowly erasing every trace of itself. Survival now demands accepting poisoned choices. Panic spread faster than the catastrophe itself. The air has become another predator. Entire generations vanish without witness. Now extinction moves faster than life can adapt. The survivors continue moving because stopping guarantees death. When scavengers vanish, collapse has already gone too far. The climate no longer remembers what this world used to be. Young predators inherit a world already collapsing around them.
The environment now kills more efficiently than predators.
Even successful hunts can no longer restore strength. The future of entire species disappears quietly beneath the ash. Ancient migration paths have become death traps. For the first time in millions of years, darkness arrives before night. Instinct still recognizes danger before understanding it. Strength alone cannot outlast planetary collapse. The ecosystem no longer leaves space for escape. Silence becomes the final sound of collapse. The age of giants fades into ash and darkness. The extinction event has fully arrived.
Every survival instinct now triggers at once.
Breathing itself becomes a fight for survival. Nature no longer follows the old rules of survival. The young inherit only the final moments of this world. The planet itself now moves faster than life can escape. Even giants eventually surrender to a dying world. The world no longer resembles the one evolution prepared them for.
Entire ecosystems are now being washed away.
Survival instinct persists long after strength disappears. The pathways of life are becoming fossilized in real time. For many, there is no remaining path forward. The last light arrives only for a moment. Death now arrives without witnesses. The age of dinosaurs ends beneath fire, darkness, and ash. After the violence comes something even heavier. Silence. Some survivors remain, without a world capable of sustaining them.
Life slows beneath skies that no longer nourish the earth. There is no longer enough energy left for conflict.
The king of predators now survives one moment at a time.
Entire futures disappear quietly beneath the earth. The ecosystem remembers life, even after life is gone.
Extinction rarely arrives with a single final moment. The world itself has changed beyond recognition. Even the footsteps of giants eventually disappear.
From collapse, new survival will eventually emerge. Nature does not mourn forever. It transforms.
The age of giants fades quietly into history. Earth endures, even when entire worlds vanish from its surface.
Life continues, but never as the same world that came before.